This is the I Am. Welcome to Messenger of the Divine. Hello, my dearest friends. This is Jesus, also known as Sananda, for we are the same. And I will explain here many aspects of the story and how can this be? How did it happen? Beloveds, I am so glad to greet you on this beautiful day. For I see you, each one of you. I see your brilliance, your shining heart, the light of being that you truly and innately are. I know you through your light and through your open heart. This is how I know you and see you. Never forget, no matter what happens in your life, that you are a leader. You lead on the path of the light. You lead on the path of be good. You lead on the path of do kindly to all others. You lead on the path of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You lead on the path of judge not, lest you be judged. Not by God, but by yourself and those who do not see you or understand you. Accept and keep going forward. You are on the path of goodwill, dear one. You are on the path of do good unto all others, all peoples, animals, the earth, nature, the plants, the oceans, the corals, the fishes. Do good unto all others, and you will forever have a heart at peace. All right, let me begin. And occasionally I may sound as if I am speaking as the Archangel Sananda, whose divine spark I carry. First, among the many things that we can discuss and to share and may come back and do more at another time, when Sananda said a few days ago that he had never incarnated as a physical being, let me explain what that means and how that is different than what we did, for it is not the same. It is also not the same as with Mary, the mother, and the young Buddha. With Mary, after the angel Gabriel came to her, and once the seed was in her to bear the child, the fifth archangel we call the radiant one, the illumination, Carol has not yet perceived the name. However, this archangel enveloped Mary in her divine love, her presence, her compassion, and all that is good about her, and all that is about her, and all that she knows, all that she knows of life, of history, of the cosmos, of the beginning, and all that will be. This archangel enveloped Mary with all of this knowledge and understanding, and the key understanding that the child she was about to bear would carry the divine spark of the I am. And so it was not an embodiment. It was an impression, a deep, deep impression upon Mary, which guided her from that point forward, and is from where she gleans her strength, and where she and how she ascended, as she has, to the highest realm possible in the many, many, many multiple layers of consciousness. Mary is now in the last of these, as am I, as are the other ascended masters. And it is a great journey, and it is not easily accessed. It is not easily accessible. It is hard work, and it is constant devotion to the highest good of all. And so that is how Mary came to be known as Mother Mary, and is seen around the world and heard in every heart who opens to her vibration, for she is a great presence of compassion and support as needed for you and your loved ones in your prayers, and all are heard and all are answered. And the same is with the young man who became the Buddha. The same process. The sixth Archangel, Jadzeel, Jadzeel, did the same thing with him. Did not embody into him. The young man was born as a human being, as was Mary. But when there is a deep, deep, deep impression of the presence and vibration and knowledge of that archangel, everything that archangel knows and has experienced and learned and seen, past, present, future, impressed upon the young mind. And it is how that young mind then proceeded into the higher levels of consciousness to pure nirvana, the last phase, the last cycle, the last level of consciousness, the last dimension before the universal I am consciousness, the one from whom all came. It is a great accomplishment. And what we can tell you this, anyone can do this. It is a long journey. Yes, there is much to be done. It starts in the body. In most, it is many lifetimes. Not in all. In Mary's case and in the Buddha's case, they proceeded in the levels of growth and evolution that follow the physical. And there are many, many, many levels of learning and expansion as a soul. And anyone can do this, as have the ascended masters who are in the Council of Light. All of the great world teachers have done this. They are not physically incarnated again. None of them has physically incarnated again. None of them. But I can tell you this, as I describe at great length in my book, The Bringers of Hope, expanded second edition. I can tell you this, that all of the ascended masters, teachers, and saints of the entire Earth's history, as well as myself, Jesus of Nazareth, Also the Archangel SANANDA. Every one of us is spiritually embodied on the earth right now. In every corner of the earth we are present. We look physical, but we are not. We have the appearance of being physical, but we are not. We retain complete 100% of our ascended consciousness and being and nature. Why do we do this? Why are we here? And why have we been here for a very long time in this condition? Long, long, long before this channel Carol was even born into the body, and through which she has grown exceptionally fast in this last lifetime, to which she volunteered, as many of you did. Thank you very much. You are needed, and we are grateful for your help. But we are here, we the masters, spiritually embodied, not physical. None of us physically born ever again after that substantial, important lifetime of bestowing the teachings of the I Am. We are here now, in particular, in this moment in your lifetime, in this moment in your history as humanity, in this moment of your world history as humanity. For I tell you this, that unlike any other cosmic age that Earth and humanity has ever gone through, this one is the most important and the most unique, and is completely unlike anything Earth or humanity has ever gone through before. I describe this at length, and it is the singular purpose of my book, The New Humanity, which I wrote through Carol. She received as her higher consciousness. First edition in '82. She worked on it for 12 years. Thank you, Carol. As she integrated the understanding. And then in 1994, I rechanneled myself again through her higher consciousness. Thank you, Carol. That and 5 other books in 6 months. And it was flawless. The New Humanity is flawless and exactly as I sent it, unedited. And the reason I wrote the book by its title, it is currently in the book Humanity 2.0 as the very most important volume 1. And this coming year, I am already beginning the New Humanity 3rd edition, something brand new. I am substantially expanding the concept and including a great deal of new material starting this year. Okay. Bottom line, the singular reason for that book is to tell you that the lifetime you are in at this moment, whether or not you believe in other lives, parallel lives, past lives, this life, this lifetime, this moment in human history, this singular cosmic age is humanity's second only evolutionary leap. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. It has already begun. Even though you crossed a threshold September 22, 2011, and that was the moment that the veil between dimensions evaporated and is no longer hidden from anyone who wishes to access the higher dimensions. There is no longer a veil. It is gone, dear one. Nothing is hidden from you any longer. Every person now has direct access to the divine consciousness, to me, to any master teacher, any angel. You have direct access. There is no more veil. Okay, but what does it mean, evolutionary leap? Oh my goodness. Well, that's what many of the books are about. Well, that's what all of the books are about. Let me say that. Everything I am channeling through Carol, which is why I'm calling her my ambassador for the new humanity. Everything we are writing, I am writing through her. She, thank goodness, is able to receive me. Everything is about the new humanity because you have entered that new cosmic age and you are in it right now. So all the decades before, reading about it, hearing about it, yada, 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 well, you're in it now. And the vibration of it has been pulling on humanity in the decades prior to that. And I discussed that in the New Humans, 3rd edition, New Material 2023. I discussed that in even greater length in the 3rd book in the series, The Bringers of Light, because briefly, and the purpose of those books is the new humans. So the new humans is coming in waves. The first wave of new humans in this new humanity, the very first wave, 1947. Carol came in 1945. She didn't want to wait. So much enthusiasm for what can I do? Tell me what to do. and the second wave of new humans, mid-70s. For example, 75, 77, thereabouts. That's you. Second wave. It's described in the sequels. It's described in the New Humans and the Bringers of Light, and both have great detail on this. It was introduced in the New Humans and expanded upon in the Bringers of Light. The third wave of new humans for this new humanity is were born about 2001, and actually that wave continued to 2011. It was a very powerful influx of souls coming to volunteer. What can I do? Everyone raising their hands. Let me help. Helping people, animals, the air, the oceans, scientists, inventors, visionaries, whatever you want to do, whatever your heart tells you to do, whatever your talent is or your talents are. This is how you serve the greater good of all. And every single one of you is needed. And every single one of you is a part of the tapestry of this new humanity, as are all the rest who have been born since 1947. You all agreed to be here at this time in this life, and if you're hearing this, I promise you, you are a part of the new humanity, or you would not be drawn to this vibration. What does it mean? It means be who you are. It means trust what your heart is tugging at you to do, because you wouldn't feel that tug if you couldn't do it and accomplish it. That doesn't mean necessarily that it will happen quickly or overnight. It all depends on you, your life experiences, your process. But I guarantee you it will come and it will happen, because you being you is all you need to do. With an open mind and an open heart, you are changing the world and changing lives. even if it's one person at a time. And every action matters. The fourth wave of human beings at this point in time, and we've briefly referenced it in the last two books, but it's 2047, so 100 years. Okay, and then there will be, and after that there will be 4 more cycles. So basically 4 cycles over about a century. Okay. Now, what I can tell you this, if you're wondering, is the Earth going to last? Are we going to blow it up? Is humanity going to last? Are we going to kill each other off? No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can tell you this, the cosmic age that you have just entered is 26,500 years long. And for that entire period, humanity is in this new evolutionary leap. Slow growth, yes, but still getting there. And continues beyond that. So you're not done, and there is no easy way out. This is not going to just end. No, you are here to do your part to save the planet and to save humanity in whatever way you can with love and compassion. For this is the age of compassion. And this is the age of the child. For the children, these new children born since 2001, they lead the way. The first wave, Carol's wave, the first wave, many thousands, tens of thousands, the first wave are the forerunners, those who prepare the way. The second wave are the builders, sustainability. The third wave, show the way, show everyone else the way. This is what needs to be done. This is how we do it. Let's go. Highly creative, plugged in, tuned in, turned on. Okay. How can you tell whether someone is clear or full of ego? Those who are clear care more about others than they do themselves. That is the way of the teacher. That is the way of anyone who is a leader. That is the way of anyone who espouses to be higher or blessed. Because a person who has that ability or that gift does not brag about it, but humbly does what that person can to make life easier for the other. Because the other is all that matters. Because when you are living to be useful, helpful to others, that is when you yourself are at peace. And you have no sorrow that you cannot bear because you understand, you can see and perceive the bigger picture. You are not stuck in the minute, small mind. That's the difference, dearest. That's the difference. Follow not those who are bright and shiny and braggers, for they lead you astray. Accept the gentle nudgings of those who are not in it for themselves, but are in it for you. Those who are humble and just merely grateful and honored to be present and have whatever they can, do whatever they can to make life better for someone else or for others. Those are the ones who have the wisdom. And what does it mean to have wisdom? It means the heart is receiving the divine counsel. The brain is an instrument. It is not the mind. The mind envelops the entire human body. The mind is not even the consciousness that envelops the mind. It's like it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and more expansive. But the brain is the tool, for example, through which I am able to channel through Carol and my other helpers, who each has her own unique talent or ability or perspective. With Carol, it's the new humanity. Okay, I got off track. I will come back and share more. Whatever I missed today, I will share more. Bottom line, and I had much to say. We channeled a great deal of information already today, and due to a technical problem, it didn't record the audio. It recorded, but there was no sound. So I'm here to give you what you need in this moment, and whatever I missed, I will come back and give it at a separate time. It doesn't all have to be in one sitting. But bottom line, I want to tell you this. I will come back. Remind me, please. I will come back to the story about what does it mean, how is it different to be physically incarnated, as were the first angels on the first planet in the Pleiades, Perona, which is no longer there in the sisters. It was an eighth planet. Remind me to tell you in detail, how is that different? And I have so many stories, so much to share. Okay, I will share many stories every time. I will simply keep coming back and share more and more stories. If I repeat myself, perhaps it's because I need for you to hear it again. But bottom line, how is it that I am the same as the Archangel, the firstborn, Sananda? I will say this. There are so many stories, but but right this moment, I can say this. There were 50 archangels. We had a meeting, and we were in concern for how do we help humanity on this earth, because we could see a need for giving direction, giving a sense of purpose and identity that is beyond the daily grind. And somehow the messages of previous masters had not gotten through. It was like a few here, a few there, all saying the same thing, all with the same message. How can we really make an impact so that the message sticks? And so we went through all of that, and then finally we were down to the first 10 created archangels, including myself. So I've discussed previously how the first 7 is mainly what I've given you so far, but for this meeting, it was the first 10 archangels. Okay. And it came down to, we were wondering, well, what can we do? How do we do this? How do we impress upon them the principles by which all is? The principles of the divine I am, that is a part of every single living thing, whose vibration and consciousness is in every living thing, every person, every animal, the earth. How do we express this? How do we get that across? And we came upon the idea that the best way would be for there to be a new world teacher whose message would be so deep and visible and lasting that it would not be as easily forgotten. And so we're all wondering, well, how do we do that? who how do we do this? And we began to put together the pieces about what would be the best way to get this across. What is the story? And who do we send, or how do we send and retain our current state of, preeminent archangel and all the vibration and wonder that carries, being the divine spark we are. And then everyone turned and looked at me, Sananda, me. Everyone looked at me. I'm going, okay. And because, after all, as they said, you are the one. you are the one. You are the first. So, of course it should be you. Who else could it be? And I'm going, okay, sure. I get that. Because none of us carries ego. We may sound as if we know it all, but none of us is full of ego. We are all here to share whatever we are learning and teaching, each to our own talents, okay? And as Sananda, the firstborn out of the I Am, the first created being out of the I Am consciousness, the one that people reference as God, but it's not an entity or a being. It's like a consciousness. And then one by one, angels, archangels initially, tens of thousands in the first angel clan, Serendipity. And we're already halfway through a book on that. We're titling The Angels of Serendipity. Okay. But I said, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So with their help, we proceeded to figure out the best approach. And then the way it all ended up, as you already know, but okay, once the fetus in the body was at a stage where it was beginning to develop a sense of self, this was not at 6 weeks, no. Not at 10 weeks, no. The sense of self began with the heart pumping. The heart. The sense of self began with the brain beginning to grow, evolve. However minuscule that might seem to you. The heart and the brain. Those were the telltale signs of the timing. And it was then time to immerse a consciousness into that fetus. So I, Sananda, taking on this responsibility to impress upon the fetus all that I am, all that I ever have been, what the I Am is all about, because as the firstborn and having the divine spark myself, as I am part of it, I am the eyes, ears, voice of the I Am consciousness. I am the representative of the I Am consciousness more than any other, since I am the first and I am the nearest to that frequency. So I impressed upon the fetus through a touch, let's say, through a touch, immersing into that womb a great light to surround that fetus and nurture it and feed it. Not becoming, how do I express this? I did not leave myself behind and become physical. Side note, when I say here's the difference. When later, some angels in another clan were curious about what the worlds the creator angels had created. The beautiful new First Eden, for example, one of the books that has begun and has work to be, we need to add, is called the First Eden. And that First Eden was Perona in the Pleiades. It was so beautiful that some of these angels were curious, what would it be like? So they took on physical bodies. They incarnated. They lost their higher vibration. They detached from what they had been. They separated from what they had been, and they forgot everything, and they did not remember. They were human at the lowest vibration there is, and would have to over the eons work their way back. And very briefly, so that's physical incarnation, and that is not what happened with Sananda, Jesus, our story. And very briefly, Carol was not one of those. Carol is from the higher echelons of the Angels of Serendipity. I know her very well, as do some of her very close sisters. We have a long history, but I know Carol very well, and she and others, including her close sister, CE, were among those who gave of themselves to go into that lower vibration to help their sisters and brothers come home. Remember who they were. Some did, most didn't. And then, unfortunately, Carol and her sister, CE, and hundreds of others who gave of themselves to save their sisters and brothers, although retaining the higher knowledge and much of what they have brought with them, got also entrapped in the physical vibration because it's very sticky. Okay. Anyway, so I tell you that because what happened with Sananda and the fetus that would become Jesus, as I myself, Jesus Sananda, telling you this story. Okay. The Archangel, the firstborn, the first angel. It's almost like a womb. For example, the fetus is in a physical womb. Okay? And then the Archangel put like an etheric womb around that entire physical womb with an etheric umbilical cord through which sending energy, thoughts, everything the Archangel knew, including of the I Am consciousness, everything about the I Am, everything the Archangel had already seen and done and could see of the future, all of this enormous wealth of knowledge and understanding and incredible compassion and gentle of the soul, but centered and clear as daylight, a crack of light in the darkness. This is how this angel nurtured this young Jesus and touched this young Jesus with the divine spark. So that as Sananda never left being the Archangel, retained 100% of the full consciousness of the divine spark that he carries. But even so, the young Jesus also carried this same divine spark, which had been touched upon him for his purpose. And once he was born, he had full knowledge and awareness of who he was and had been, and did not forget or ever forget. He knew from the first day, because he was learning and studying while in the etheric womb. All of those months in the etheric womb. This had not been done before. This was a new experiment. And it turned out really well. But this was not done before, and it has not been repeated. This was the one time, because the purpose was so great. And so Jesus retained full awareness and sensibility of the light being he carried as his nature. And this is why and how he walked the earth with grace and wisdom, but also humility, because he knew who he was already. I will share many of these stories over time. I hope this clarifies how that all works. I think it does. Let me know through Carol in the comments if that is clear now. It is not a full embodiment. It is not an incarnation as usual. This was an original and unique method for imparting everything upon that young being through the etheric womb. The umbilical cord plugged in to the Archangel, who is plugged in to the One. Anyway, I hope that's clear. Now let me move on. I have many other things I will share, but for now let's end this. And I just want you to know that I do this with the greatest of love, because, and Carol does also, because she, as the vehicle of receiving such information and trying to make sense of it for you, she and I both want the very best for you, however you can comprehend this. The bottom line is, it matters not what the belief is. It matters not what the journey was. All that matters is, I am. I am Jesus, the only one, the only Jesus. And I received the full vibration and frequency and spark of the divine as that which nurtures me, the Archangel Sananda. That is why we are one. Our thoughts are the same. Our feelings are the same. If you're a parent, you probably understand this. Well, maybe you don't. Carol's never been a parent, so she doesn't anyway. But I tell you this as Jesus and as Sananda. Jesus, Sananda, we are the same. Think of us as one being who carries the divine spark. And why? What is the message? What is the message that I brought and bring? Love others as you would wish to be loved. Quietly, gently go your way through life. Respectful. Remembering that the other also has feelings and needs and confusions and moments of clarity, and also has a journey and talents and abilities to share. Think of that other as you would of yourself, with respect. Simply respect. And when you respect the other as you wish to be respected, person, people, culture, race, animals, pets, wild, the Mother Earth, the trees, the forests, the oceans, the air, the seas, the fishes, the mammals. As you wish to be respected, respect others. And as you do, respectfully, you will grow and expand. For this is the journey. This is the path. I love you. I value you. I know you. For I have seen each of you before. I love you always. I am Jesus Sananda.